Hi guys, my name is Yatari and this is Crypto for You. You guys all know that Bitcoin has for the last 3 months just been going up and down and up and down and up and down. It has been standing, it has been going sideways. Everybody's getting bored. Everybody's waiting for Bitcoin to do something huge. Well, we could be beginning to see some scenarios playing out. We can begin to see that Bitcoin is about to do something crazy. We can see that if it breaks this level, it will go down. If it breaks above this level, it will go up. But we are starting to see indicators and more indicators that are showing signs that Bitcoin could be doing something crazy. We have the RSI, the stochastic RSI, the Bollinger bands. Those are all indicators, and there are many more. They are all showing that Bitcoin could be either going up or down. I'm going to be explaining you guys all that and more in this video, so let's get into it. So guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome. Thanks for watching my video. Guys, look at this. You guys know that ever since we fell this 56% from our about $65,000 level, we have been bouncing around for around 3 months now, practically doing nothing from the $30,000 to the $40,000 level. It's another day for Bitcoin. It just tapped the $30,000 level. But wait, look at this. Bitcoin has actually been doing a falling wedge. It's one of the patterns that I see. There have been a lot of patterns. Some of them play out, some of them don't. This is a really weird stage for Bitcoin to be. Lots of patterns, lots of indicators that are showing stuff that don't really happen. Now, look at this. You guys know that the falling wedges, those are bullish patterns. 70% chance to the upside and only a 30% chance to the downside. This means we could start going up. On the 4-hourly time frame, the RSI and stochastic RSI are really low. We could start going up. On the daily time frame, you can see that we are also really low on the RSI and stochastic RSI. We could go up. But the craziest thing is that on the weekly time frame, the RSI and stochastic RSI is really low. We could go up. On the weekly time frame, since it's a much bigger scale, that means that we could have much higher gains, because the bigger the scale, the higher the gains. Look, for example, the Corona dump. At the Corona dump, when the Bitcoin had the RSI go really low and the stochastic RSI was actually with the RSI, not going against it, you can see that they worked together and pushed Bitcoin up to all the way to $60,000 from $3,000. But that's just crazy, guys. Look at this. How big of a percentage gain was this? This is 1,500% gain. That's crazy, guys. That's like you can change amount of money 15 times greater. That's crazy, guys. And of course, after we actually pumped this 15%, this 1,500%, then we dumped 50%. 56% to be exact. That's a big dump. But that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about how the RSI, stochastic RSI, could be taking us up again. Now, you can see that when the RSI, stochastic RSI peaked, that's when we start going up. But that's not always the case. You can see that. Let's just look at the RSI, stochastic RSI here, for example. You can see that it peaked right here. And actually, the stochastic RSI started falling at January 4th, but that's when actually we fell a little bit and started rising again, but the stochastic RSI kept falling. The RSI was still in the high zones. As long as we're above this line, we are in the high zones. And you can see that when did the RSI actually peak? When did we actually peak? Well, when did Bitcoin peak and it started falling? It started falling right when we broke back below this line. So it depends. It sometimes changes. But I believe that the RSI and stochastic RSI, they're low. And this is actually something bullish. And I don't know when. It could be right now. We could start going up and be bullish right now. It could be later. We can start pumping later. But we are on the weekly time frame, and the RSI and stochastic RSI are low. We could be bullish. But this is not the only thing. We're supposed to be cautious, because that's just a scenario. That's something I just think, because we hit the $30,000 level, we could start going back to $40,000 again, then we get rejected and start falling again. We could be stuck inside of here until Bitcoin does something. But you're probably don't start shouting, don't start being happy for what Bitcoin's doing, that we have the RSI and stochastic RSI really low, because we also have the Bollinger Bands. The Bollinger Bands, we are below the 20-week moving average. Everybody knows that. Everyone knows how Bitcoin broke the 20-week moving average right here. Everybody knows that on the daily time frame, Bitcoin has made a death cross with the 50 and the 200-day moving average. Everybody knows those things. But that's not the only thing. On the weekly time frame, you guys know that the Bollinger Bands is a really big pattern that actually proves where Bitcoin will go. And it all matters with the 20-day moving average, 20-week moving average, the 20 moving average. Whatever time frame, the bigger the time frame, the more the Bitcoin will pump or the more Bitcoin will dump, depending on the bigger time frame. Because the bigger time frames, the more picture, the more prices rise. So look at this. Bitcoin is actually below the 20-week moving average. What does that mean? Well, that means we're ready to do something big to the bearish term. You see, we're in the bearish part of the band. When Bitcoin's in the bearish part of the band and not in the bullish part of the band, which is above the 20-week moving average, you see, even though we started closing our band, which is what, like when the band is actually opening, that's what's showing that we could start we are pumping to the upside. There's two things. The 20-week moving average has to be above it, and the Bollinger Bands have to start opening. That's like the trigger thing. That's what triggers it. There's practically always two things that trigger. There's always the setter upper, and then there's the trigger. The setter upper is the moving average. When we break the moving average to the upside, we set up the needed thing for Bitcoin. And then the Bollinger Bands open. That actually is the trigger for the price. It triggers the price of Bitcoin to start going up. Now the ending thing is when both of the Bollinger Bands close. You see that one start closing, and sometimes it just needs one to take it to close. But sometimes it needs two. So you can see that it needed two. As soon as it closes right here, boom, it starts falling down. And that's called a trend reversal. And now it fell through to the bottom of the band. Now we're in the bearish side of the band. Now, just a weekly time frame. Really big stuff can happen. You can see that. Look how much we pumped when the band started opening. You can see we were in a long time on top of the band. We broke above it after the Corona dump right here. We started going up. And now the Bollinger Bands opened, and you can see that it was open for a long time. And now look at this. We're opening again. You can see that we have a small opening here. We already have a long opening here. And we're below the 20-week moving average. You can see that we have the setter upper and we have the trigger already activated. Bitcoin could be falling down. The only thing keeping us from falling is the RSI and stochastic RSI. And also this $30,000 support. If we break the $30,000 support, we will fall to $20,000 and maybe even less. Look at this. The four major moving averages, 20, 50, 100, and the 200 is not been shown yet on this chart because this is a Bybit chart which doesn't have enough data. I think Coinbase has more data. Now look at this. Let's look at the 20-week. We already broke it. We broke it when we were falling. Right now it's at $46,000. Look at the 50-week. The 50-week is at $31,000. And that's what we're supporting right now. As long as we're above the 50-week, we will not go to 100-week, which is at $20,000, which is my next target. If we break this moving average, or if we break the support, if we break both of those things, we will fall down. Now, you can technically count us already breaking it, but remember, we have to get rejected. Remember, we have two things, the setter upper and the trigger. We set up by breaking it, and we trigger by getting the resistance. It's always kind of two different things. It's actually interesting. I just realized that. There's always two different things, the trigger and the setter upper. Setter upper comes first, trigger comes second. And that's what actually makes the price of Bitcoin go either up or down. So, whatever Bitcoin does right now, and there's so much things happening right now, and it might be even hard for you to understand. The Bollinger Bands, stochastic RSI, and the RSI, and the supports. Those four things. That's what's keeping Bitcoin from going either up or going down. All those things are keeping Bitcoin from going down to 20K. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to click that post notification bell. I'll see you guys next video. Bye!